Hey, good morning, y'all. Thank you for joining me today. So, this morning's article is on QZ.com and it was written by Chase Purdy. And the title is These Are the Classic American Foods People Are Giving Up. So, this caught my interest and we're going to get right into it, okay? So, it says food trends will always be a thing. Sometimes they are dictated by economic circumstance or ethical considerations, and sometimes they are shaped by emerging nutrition science that redefine how we think about how we eat. Hello, Christine. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Angela. Thank you for joining me. If any of you want to come on and rap with me and introduce yourself, just send me a request and you'll be right in the little corner and we can get to know each other. Also, pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Share this video and let me know where you're from and your fitness and health goals. So here we go. It says, in this shape-shifting market, we can track with per capita consumption and sales data just what's happening to our 3 meals a day and occasional snacks. Some food items are going through boom times. This is the case with avocados, beets, chicken, and many other items, but many others are falling out of popularity. Here are a handful of the latter group, collected and charted from breakfast through post-dinner dessert. So I eat a ton of avocados, y'all. I eat at least 2 avocados a day. I love beets. I particularly like the golden beets. A little bit better. They're not as sweet and it's just a different type of taste. But juicing beets is delicious, y'all. You can do a beet lemon juice. You could do all sorts of type of juice. A beet Granny Smith juice. And when I did eat meat, I would have chicken. I would buy chicken in bulk at Costco. And that was always the best deal that I would always find. Hello, Lisa from Gainesville. How's the weather there? Gainesville, Georgia. I used to live in Alabama, and I used to travel in Georgia quite a bit. Pretty cool place. I used to go to Atlanta a lot. Hello, Christine. Hello, Dory. Dory says she loves beets as well. So let's continue. All right, so it says breakfast, okay? If you walked into the vast majority of households, you'd still find at least 1 box of cereal. Double duh. But sales have dropped off as people have abandoned sit-down breakfast for on-the-go cereal bars and yogurts. So in my opinion, you still got to watch out for those cereal bars and yogurts. A lot of times, it's just sugar, 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 and more sugar, 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 sugar. Those cereals, sugar, sugar, sugar. Those cereal bars, protein bars, sugar, 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 and that's what gives you that spike and that energy. Interesting, it says milk and juices have also felt the pain. For more than a decade, people have steadily turned away from the one classic breakfast table staples. Milk does a body good. All the campaigning, all the marketing for milk, because there's a lot of subsidiaries for milk for farmers. Same thing with corn. And so, people, data doesn't lie. People are staying away from the cereals, the breakfast cereals, and milk, right? And what would you used to do as a kid, right? You would put that milk on top of sugar cereal. But people are learning, from articles like this, from Facebook Lives like this, from family and friends, that there's so much more healthier alternatives out there, like avocados and avocado toast with a plant-based toast, right? You can put you can make hundreds of different avocado toasts, right? Different type of avocado recipes. You could just put avocado mash with a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, maybe a squeeze of lemon juice on a nice plant-based bread, 32 ounces of water, you're good to go. Casey, GM from Jersey. I've never been to Jersey. Okay, so here we go. All right, lunch. For the most part, lunch remains the same. Deli meats are still popular and sliced bread hasn't experienced any major disruption. But there are a few notable changes. For example, tuna salad and tuna sandwiches are less and less popular. Very, very interesting. Actually, almost all canned fish has been in decline in the U.S. since the mid-1980s, and cottage cheese, which people have long turned to for an easy source of protein, appears to have fallen out of favor as well. I used to love cottage cheese. As a matter of fact, I still love cottage cheese. I just don't eat it. There used to be nothing better than a nice cold cottage cheese, right? The large curd with a lot of salt and pepper, and then I would mash it, right? And then I would put the salt and pepper, and I would just eat a little bit at a time. But again, that goes back to dairy. That goes back to dairy, right? And let's talk about the tuna. I did a really good tuna review on YouTube about 1.5 years ago, and if you in fact, I'll post this in the link here when I'm done. I got like 5 of the premium tunas, all of the best premiums, not the the bumblebees and all that stuff. And I did a review, and it was amazing what I found. There are some optimal canned tunas out there. My body operates at a very high level with tuna. It digests very well. I think tuna has a very good amino acid. Amino profile, which is basically protein. Amino acids are protein. And there are some tunas that you can get like 30 grams of protein per can, right? And sometimes they use just sea salt in the tuna, right? And so I'm gonna post that in here because I don't eat that much canned tuna anymore, but when I did, and I still would if I just wasn't, working on myself with the raw diet and stuff, but I have nothing against canned tuna as long as it's the premium optimal canned tuna. You really want to watch some of those lower grade tunas because there's a lot of mercury in them. They're really kind of the junk of the sea, in my opinion. You hear that plane? Donna Smallwood says, about 7 weeks ago, my body told me to get rid of gluten. I can't read the rest. I did a bread review, Miss Lana and I did, and it's called Northern Bakery Bread. I've had all different types of bread. I've done over 30 videos on bread. And the Northern Bakery bread, it's like $6 to $7. Best bread, gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based, 100% vegan. It is delicious. So check out Northern Bakery bread. And by the way, if all of you are in here, you should already click the share button. It takes 2 seconds, y'all, because that, whoever shares whatever content people like, is that's the type of content that I keep sharing. And also join other groups and share these in groups. More importantly, I would be more than grateful is every morning and every evening when I sign on, if you simply push share and put it into 2 different groups every single day, y'all, because I want to make this a daily thing where we get to rap and we get to play and we get to learn every morning and every afternoon. Okay, so let's keep going. It says Americans are also slowly walking away from the habit of washing down their meals with soda. I've done a lot of videos on soda. In 2015, bottled water became a more popular option for people for the first time in decades. That can be attributed to, in large part, to growing public concern about sugar consumption, as the U.S. obesity epidemic continues to wreak havoc on the health system. You all know my stance on sugar, y'all. Even bottled water is a little bit different. A lot of those bottles, those plastic bottles, are not BPA free. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of bottled waters are more expensive than a gallon of gas. Water, it's really important to drink as much water as you can and to get the best type of water that you can. A lot of those bottled waters aren't optimal and they're not BPA free, the bottles. So here we go. Snack time. It says, need a break from work? Chances are you probably won't be munching on nuts unless they're almonds, which have caught a wave of popularity in recent years thanks to the rise of almond milk. Now you got to be careful with almond milk, and I really want to rap about this. I think there's maybe 5 to 10 major brands that are in the almond milk game. And no matter what's in there, it's always going to be better than dairy milk, cow titty milk, what I say. But the almond dairy milk or the almond milk is just saturated with a lot of preservatives, a lot of not so optimal stuff like fillers, artificial flavoring. So it's really, really important that you look at the labels of the almond milk and the nutritional facts and the ingredients. The ingredients is key on those almond milks, because a lot of people say, oh, I just use almond milk, it's so good. And then you look at the sugar content and you look at how many ingredients there are. You can make the most delicious almond milk all by yourself. You just soak and sprout your almonds, right? And then you get this nice little cotton cheese bag, and it takes maybe like a day or two, and you can make the most delicious milks. You can make the most delicious yogurts with them. You can make delicious smoothies with them. I highly suggest you get non-pasteurized almonds and make your own almond milk. It's 100 times better than the best almond milk brand, and it's the same price. You just have to find a really good source of the almonds. So let's continue to go. So dinner. So at the end of the day, most Americans are increasingly likely to avoid lima beans and Brussels sprouts. That is funny, because when I was a kid, those are the only two things: lima beans, which in the South they're called butter beans, and Brussels sprouts. My father would not let me leave the table unless I ate all of my lima beans and all of my Brussels sprouts. And I remember many times I would sit there for hours and I refused to eat them. And we're talking, these are the frozen ones, y'all. The frozen ones that are, GMO, non-organic, hardly any flavor. And, I'll eat them now, I don't plan on to, but if you prepare and you find an optimal lima bean and you prepare and find an optimal Brussels sprouts, you could throw some magic in there, some, rad wizardry, and make them delicious. But I remember as a kid, I would not like those. And it shows, you're likely to avoid those, because a lot of people just don't know how to prepare them and find them and prep them. So it says, frozen meals experienced a brief uptick around the turn of 2010, but people are starting to walk away from them again, and red meat has tumbled considerably but appears to be on the rebound. Very interesting. So when was the last time that you've bought a frozen dinner and popped it in the microwave? In the comment section below, let me know. I don't have a microwave. I haven't used a microwave in three years. And if you are going to eat frozen meals in the higher end grocery markets, Annie's is a really, really good option, even though I think one of the bigger companies bought out Annie's. That always happens, when a company comes legit, and they really do bring optimal healthy foods. A lot of the times they get taken over by these big conglomerate companies, but they still keep the name and still keep the branding, and it's interesting to see what they do with that. They still have that high quality. But do you still eat frozen dinners? If you do, what's your favorite, and where do you get it? How much is it? And then also, red meat. Do you eat meat? What kind of meat? Do you like ribs? Do you like a porterhouse steak? Do you like a filet mignon? Do you like a round steak? Do you like a T-bone? Do you like a sirloin? Do you like it grilled? Do you put it on a skillet? Do you steam it? Let me know if you still eat meat, and if you've ever tried to stop eating meat, gone back to meat, and then gone back to not eating meat, and how did you feel? Good. Tammy says, no frozen dinners. Awesome. Tammy, have you shared this video? What? Share it into groups. A personal share is good, but go into groups and look for red meeting groups, vegan groups, Atkin groups, recipe groups, Southern cooking groups, juicing groups. Go in there. It takes about 10 minutes and share these type of videos, because the more people that we can get in this comment section, Tammy, you can inspire and motivate. You all can share recipes. You can share your experience that maybe, maybe red meat clogs you up. Maybe red meat, gives you inflammation. Maybe it gives you a sore throat. Maybe you can share your story that you stopped eating red meat and your energy went through the roof. So let's see. Kelly, she does not eat frozen dinners either. Beth says no frozen dinners as well. So So a lot of people are, not eating as many frozen dinners. And I remember, in the 70s and 80s, that was like the newest thing is, frozen dinners, and they just taste like caca. But, it was a convenience factor, So the stay-at-home housewives back then, you had a lot more stay-at-home housewives back then. Women were a lot less independent overall, and they would just buy these TV dinners and then just throw them in the oven. or in the microwave, right? And a lot less people are doing that. I mean, talk about processed. That's about as processed as you can get. So let's keep going. We're on dessert. A little dessert don't hurt, and always eat your dessert first, meaning eat your fruits in the morning and in the afternoon, and then save your leafy greens in the evening. So it says, finally, a chilling look at one of the dairy's, whoa, here we go. Finally, a chilling look at one of the dairy industry's favorite products. So true. What are the most common, desserts? They're all dairy, right? They're all milk. They're all cow titty milk in general. Ice cream represents in many colors, sprinkles, and flavors, is slowly falling out of favor with the American public. Between 1975 and 2016, government data show per capita consumption fell by more than 28%. How huge is that? And that's why you have a lot of dairy-free ice creams. You have a lot of coconut milk ice creams. You have a lot of almond milk ice creams. I like ice cream. My favorite ice cream. I used to work at 31 Flavors, y'all. It was my third job ever, and I worked there for like 6 months, and my arm used to be like so like strong right here because you'd have to scoop it, and I used to make all these concoctions. But my favorite ice cream of all time, just when I was a kid, is very common, I guess, for kids, was rainbow sherbet, and that probably had the most sugar ever. But I would love to get rainbow sherbet, and there's different flavors of rainbow sherbet. There's like 6 or 7 different flavors of rainbow sherbet, and I would like to eat a little bit real slow, and then I would like it to melt, and then I would stir it up like a rad ninja, and then I would drink it. And so that used to be my favorite. So you can make your own ice cream. Let me give you something. Let me give you a nice little rad tip. The most amazing ice cream is get frozen bananas, right? Some coconut milk, or even better, just get a can of coconut water or karate chop a Thai coconut. You can even use the meat in there, use the coconut water. Throw some blueberries in there if you don't want blueberries. Throw some pineapple in there if you don't want pineapple in there. Throw some cacao in there with some hemp seeds and some chia seeds. All frozen bananas, like 5 frozen bananas. We've got like over 300 recipes on our meal plans, y'all. And you will make the most amazing ice cream you've ever had at way less the price, and that you made it. Your kids will love it. You know what I'm saying? You could throw a little bit. You can make, check this out. You can make a banana vanilla ice cream with just 5 bananas, frozen bananas, real hard bananas, right? Then throw some coconut water in there, and then throw some like a couple drops of vanilla stevia, blend it up, boom, boom, delicious, way better than all that other cow titty, caca ice cream. So thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Tanya. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Share this video. I'm gonna ninja flip right now over to Tom and Lana's account, and I'm gonna do another video. So every day I'm gonna try to make a video on this account and Tom and Lana's account in the morning and in the afternoon, or in the morning and then in the evening, and then I'll make maybe a video in between. And then 30 days from now, y'all, I'm not going to be doing these lives on my personal accounts. We're going to do all of our lives on the Facebook page, and if you haven't joined that, it's Radiculously Rawthentic. If you have not joined our Facebook group, that is Radiculously Rawthentic. Make sure that you put, this is very, very important, if you don't want to miss Lana or miss myself, when you're on the Facebook page, you have to click show first, okay? So it's like news feed, you click it and you hit show first. That way you will get all the notifications when I go live, all right? So thank you for joining me. Let's give it a little wind chime action. Y'all get out there and have fun, y'all, okay? Try to eat the best you can. Try to harvest that self-love. Try to take care of yourself and just do the best you can, all right? I love you. I'm ninja flipping over to Lana's account now, Tom and Lana's account. Just go ahead and send us a friend request there if you haven't. It's Tom and Lana. Keep it raw, stay rad. What?